Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Peter Barber here, professional singer and music producer, and I just did my first time reaction and analysis to Get Down from Six, the musical. Really, really fun. Very different from what we've heard in a lot of ways from the show. Super wild choruses that I never expected. Just the kind of soundscape was really fun to break down and analyze. And it's a bop. I really enjoyed this one. So guys, please do sit back, relax, and enjoy my first time reaction and analysis for Get Down from Six, the musical. I'll see you after.
Well, I guess you already know what happened next. How I came to England hopeful, summoned after the king saw my portrait, and how I, with my meager looks the way they are, didn't live up to his expectations. I mean, it's the usual story, isn't it? The savvy, educated, young princess, deemed repulsive by the wheezing, wrinkled, ulcer-riddled man 24 years her senior.
Not great. Yeah, the kings often weren't the best looking dudes in the world. We have a 1500s catfish on both sides in this situation. That's tough. That's tough for everybody.
Isn't it? The savvy, educated, young princess, deemed repulsive by the wheezing, wrinkled, ulcer-riddled man.
Obviously tougher for her because he's the king and he does what he wants. And he can be awful and was awful. Really the worst. Like, genuinely one of the worst people. I digress.
24 years her senior. Rejection. Rejection from a king. How could anyone overcome a fate as devastating as being forced to move into a resplendent palace in Richmond? With more money than I could ever spend in a lifetime. And not a single man around to tell me what to do with it. I mean, seriously. Just tragic.
That's good. That's good stuff. Yeah. Woe is me. Okay. All right, let's get into the song. That's what I'm here for.
Seriously. Just tragic.
Sitting here all alone on a throne in a palace that I happen to own. Bring me some pheasant, keep it on the bone. Fill my goblet up to the brim, sipping on mead and I spill it on my dress with the gold lace trim. Not very prim and proper, can't make me stop. I wanna go hunting.
What a this is so cool. I love the vibe here, and this is just like, this feels like boss energy. This really cool synth bass I am absolutely loving. We pretty much just get that. What's the percussion here? Just snaps. Yeah, like an edited snap and with some other effects and maybe some other things layered in. But that's the idea, is like, that's the idea for this. And that bass synth is so cool because it hits and then there's a little bit of kind of an echo or delay, creating a little more atmosphere around it than it would if it were just the totally raw sound. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool sound to start us off. You hear all that? Ding, 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 ding. So we've got some really nice delay on that bass synth, it just adds a lot, because it might be, because there's not much happening at all musically, really. It might be kind of dull, kind of stale if there's not added effects on it, but just that ding, 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 that kind of echo is enough to keep it interesting. There's some nice reverb on those snaps as well, adding to the atmosphere.
Sitting here all alone on a throne in a palace that I happen to own. Bring me some pheasant, keep it on the bone. Fill my
So A minor here. There's all these, a major part of the music in this musical is this very speech-like deliverance of text, to where there's obviously clear melody, our who's this, Anne of Cleves, right? Our Anne of Cleves, I believe, is singing, but it's all one pitch. And so it's really more about the text, which of course storytelling really does come down to the text, and you use melody and chords and all that as a tool to enhance the message you're telling in an ideal world. And so, but it's just unusual that you hear so much in a musical that is lacking like big melodic content. There's certainly been plenty of it, and especially like Heart of Stone, which has been my favorite one so far, was very melodic and beautiful, like big sweeping melodies. But we get a lot of this kind of thing where it's almost more rap-like. You know, it's much more speech-based and rhythm-based than big melody-based. And here too, there's not even any big like backing chords or like foundational harmony so much. It's just kind of like hanging out in A minor. But it's really cool. And it does present a contrast from what most of us are probably used to, and just between the songs. Because like I said, there is some like heavily melodic content, but just there's a lot more of this kind of thing in this show than I've seen in other shows.
Bubble it up to the brim, sipping on mead, and I spill it on my dress with the gold lace trim. Not very prim.
So the only chord changes we get are in the bass line, but there's no full chords mapped out anywhere else. So we just get the bass chord that's changing. Doom, 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 doom. It's just something like that.
Some pheasant, keep it on the bone. Fill my goblet up to the brim, sipping on mead, and I spill it on my dress with the gold lace trim. Not very prim and proper, can't make me stop. I wanna go hunting any takers. I'm not fake, cause I've got acres and acres, paid for with my own riches. Where my hounds at, release the bitches.
I like that. Where my hounds at, release the bitches. I like that there's kind of like a counter synth bass coming in that's not as high. That's one new element we get in the repeat of this material. And we also get this like, what is that? Maybe probably a wood block. We get a wood block sound that's added, usually to convey like a sneaking thing. Actually, I have a song that I'm writing right now that has like a very sneaky vibe to it. And wood blocks with some delay and reverb is like a sneaky sounding thing. It's used in a lot of like spy movies and stuff like that, and film scoring. So keep an ear out for, I believe, some kind of woodblock sound and that kind of counter bass that's sitting a little higher than our fundamental synth bass.
I wanna go hunting any takers. I'm not fake, cause I've got acres and acres, paid for with my own riches. Where my hounds at, release the bitches. Woof. Every day.
That's great. I like how it's the other ladies that jumped in for that. From behind the tree.
Release the bitches.
Woof.
Every day, head back for a round of croquet, cause I'm a player. And tomorrow, I'll hit replay.
Can you feel it just ever so slightly building? They're just very slowly adding elements. So first it was just synth bass and the snaps and her voice. Then it was synth bass, the snaps, the wood blocks, and that other little bass and her voice. Then the other women came in for a hot second. And then it gets to this next section, which there's just a little bit more percussion added. It's nothing extreme, just a little bit more percussion. And from what it sounded like when I just paused a second ago, then we're finally going to get into like a fully fleshed out musical section.
Every day, head back for a round of
a little bit more here.
Cause I'm a player. And tomorrow I'll hit replay. You said that I tricked you, cause I didn't look like my profile picture. Too bad I don't agree. So I'm gonna hang it up for everyone to see. And you can't stop me, cause I'm the queen of the...
Okay, gotta go back. This is great. So it goes from this like really sneaky vibe into, again, kind of this, there's been a vibe of like the early 2010s like house music scene. And we get that here too, where it's just this kind of uplifting, super synthy, like leads happening with a beautiful female voice over top.
And tomorrow I'll hit replay. You said that I tricked.
With the claps and like the electronic chimes. and the vocal effects as well on the voice, adding a lot of atmosphere around the voice. This is all very much early 2010s house. Notice how when those kicks happen, everything else, the volume drops for a second. You've probably heard that in house music where it's like that kind of pumping feel you get in the instrumentation or the synths or whatever. In this case, this is called side chaining in audio engineering, where you will trigger certain instruments to duck the sound, to decrease their sound when another sound happens. In this case, the producer for this has set up all these synths to duck when the kick happens. So the kick comes in clearly, and really before you've even noticed it's gone, the synths are already back at their volume. Sometimes it's done in a way where it's done in a really extreme way where you want to feel that pumping. We're kind of leaning towards that here. In a lot of electronic music and stuff like metal and hard rock, they'll do it in a way where you don't even notice the songs duck, and you do this with like attack and release speeds on the triggers. So basically you'll just hear a really clear kick drum, and before you even notice that the instruments duck their sound, they're already back. It's this really beautiful balance. And usually in this kind of house music, it's done in a more extreme way. So you really feel that pulsing as opposed to just ducking it long enough for the kick to come through. And we get that here. It's a really cool effect. It's not done in the most extreme way here, but it is noticeable. Go back a bit. Listen for when the kicks come in. It's really noticeable in the bass synth, how the bass synth ducks just for a second when the kick happens. Just a couple more things. There's a lot to talk about. The claps, very common in that genre. And then in the second part of the build up to this drop or chorus, you get snare drums, a very military-like snare drum sound. And then another thing I love that they've done here, which is not necessarily an element of house music, it's just a cool technique, is they've extended the build up. So it feels like we're getting to the end of the build up, and then they added another couple measures to it to keep us going. Great technique. Continues to build suspense. It's awesome. 2, 3, 4. Just kidding.
I'm the queen of the castle. Get down, you dirty rascal. Get down.
What? Wild.
Get down, you dirty rascal. Get down.
Wait a second. That's so crazy because it actually sounds like it's going to go into like a big, like actual, like harder EDM drop. And then it goes back to kind of where we started with this doom, doom. There's a little bit more to it, but it actually doesn't hit nearly as hard as the build-up would suggest.
I'm the queen of the castle.
This is just a crazy departure. We go into A major for a second. So it's very unusual to be in A minor and then just go to the what do you even call it? It's not the relative major. That's a different thing. You just go to the major of that minor key. Mason, is there a term for that? If there is, I can't remember. Mason, my editor, is a music major and is going to throw this up there if there is such a thing. But the song goes from A minor to A major. That's why it sounds kind of weird and dreamlike all of a sudden.
And you can't stop me, 'cause I'm the queen of the castle. Get down, you dirty
Weird.
rascal.
Wait, isn't that the melody of like an old song? Pocket Ring Around the Rosie? God, I haven't sung that in 25 years. Dating myself. Rosie pockets full of. Let me know. Is that a nod? They've done some of that in this show before, like nodding to old stuff, old songs, old words, old themes. Leave a comment if that's Ring Around the Rosie or some other weird creepy nursery rhyme. Hi everyone, I hope you're enjoying my series on Six the Musical. If you'd like early access, I'm releasing all these videos a week ahead on Patreon before the public gets them. So come check out my Patreon, join us a week ahead of time for all the future videos on Six, and the next one is already there. Hope to see you over there. Peace.
I'm the queen of the castle. Get down.
It's full of posy, right? Like there's that moment, it has like this kind of alien drop, and it seems like it's about to go hard, and it never really goes hard. It's a cool beat, but it's not like a in your face drop.
The queen of the castle, get down, you dirty rascal, get down.
And it's like, oh.
Get down.
Yeah.
Get down,
Yeah.
you dirty rascal. Get down. Get down.
Very cool. Very interesting. Just completely cuts everything out. We get a little wink sound effect. We got what? We got like an exhale, maybe? Some kind of breathing sounds as well.
Get
Yeah. Nice.
Cause I'm the queen of the castle. When I get bored.
And then and then she's going to go into some kind of speech like, we might go back to the Sprechstimme I was just talking about in House of Holbein, where it's sung, but not with clear melody and not with clear notes. So it's very speech-like in the way it's sung.
Cause I'm the queen of the
Castle.
When I get bored, I go to court. Pull up outside in my carriage, don't got no marriage, so I have a little flirt with the footman as he takes my fur. As you were.
I like the use of breath and air. Like it's an exhale or an inhale can be used to such cool effect. And this one, it's kind of like people going, like, wow, she, whatever. She took her overcoat off and gave it to the guy. Breath can be used in a very cool way. Whispers can also be used in a very cool way in songwriting. A technique I've used and other people have used to great success is you have a lead vocal track, and then very quietly in each ear, you have a whisper of the same vocal track. And it adds this kind of creepy, eerie addition to the vibe. And it's a vibe change for sure.
Put up outside in my carriage, don't got no marriage, so I have a little flirt with the footman as he takes my fur. As you were making my way to the dance floor.
More
Some
sense.
boys making advance, I ignore them, cause my jam comes on the lute. Looking cute, das ist gut.
My jam comes on the lute, looking cute, das ist gut. We get a really cool kind of like arpeggiated, whoop, camera's overheating. Let me unplug it from the charger. Let's see if that helps. If it doesn't, then I'll be back momentarily, but usually that helps. Yeah, there's this added kind of arpeggiated bass synth that's been added, and that also continues to add more foundation to just more sounds to our soundscape here. It's been very sparse. It's been like very sparing so far.
Making my way to the dance floor. Some boys
I love that.
Advance, I ignore them, cause my jam comes on the lute. Looking cute, das ist gut. All eyes on me, no criticism. I look more rad than Lutheranism.
More rad than Lutheranism. Was Lutheranism like the hot new thing at this point in history? Oh my gosh. Last time I would have been studying this was high school, which is a very long time ago. But that's a funny line. If that's the case, that Lutheranism was popping off at this time. It must have been, right? This is what, 1500s? Martin Luther wrote the 95 Theses in like, what, the printing press was 1595? Oh man, that's a long time ago. Forgive me. Anyway, I like that line, whether it's factual or not.
All eyes on me, no criticism. I look more rad than Lutheranism. Done so hard that I'm causing a sensation. Okay, ladies, let's get in Reformation.
Got the a lot of good references here. Lutheranism, Reformation. It's great stuff. Great history lesson here throughout this show. Yeah, yeah, well, maybe the other ladies are going to get involved. I do love when the other ladies of the ensemble join in the fun and sing like backing harmonies and stuff. It's great.
Okay, ladies, let's get into reformation. You said that I tricked you.
Let's go.
I didn't look like my
Now bring in the snares.
Too bad I don't agree. So I'm gonna hang it up for everyone to see. And you can't stop me, 'cause I'm the queen of the castle. Get down, you dirty rascal.
That A major just sounds absolutely psychotic, coming from the A minor build up, ending on probably E major, 5 major. Let's see.
That I don't agree. So I'm gonna hang it up for everyone to see.
Yeah, E major. So we're in the major 5 of the minor. And then going back to A major just sounds absolutely psychotic in this context.
You can't stop me, 'cause I'm the queen of the castle. Get down, you dirty rascal.
insane.
Get down.
That was so chesty and dominant, that get down. It's like bringing out some like opera power there.
Castle. Get down, you dirty rascal. Get down.
That's fire.
Get down. Get down.
There's such interesting departures we're getting in the middle of these choruses. We had the total sound goes away. There's like the exhale right in the last one, and then this one we get this swinging on the chandelier as, you know, the animatic, not actually in the show, I don't think, moment, and it's like completely distorted and modulated, and they've removed a lot of the high frequencies, so it sounds like the voice is underwater, and it's been modulated down in pitch, so it sounds really freaky, kind of like that. And just right in the middle of the chorus.
Get down. Get down.
The lute looking cute, das ist gut. Another departure. This is one of the weirdest choruses to a song I've ever heard. I'm not kidding. The first one and this one. I'm just like, all right, they're choices. They're very interesting choices.
Get down. 'Cause I'm the queen of the castle. Now, I ain't saying I'm a gold digger, but check my prenup and go figure. Got gold chains, symbolic of my faith to the higher power in the fast lane. My horses can trot up to 12 miles an hour.
My horses can trot up to 12 miles an hour. That's funny. This is I like this. So we do get some harmonies. Maybe it's sung by our other ladies, and they're very kind of electronic and atmospheric and kind of weird sounding, but it's a cool change up from what we were just hearing. Right?
Got gold chains, symbolic of my faith to the higher power in the fast lane. My horses can trot up to 12 miles an hour. Let me explain. I'm a Wiener Schnitzel, not an English flower. No one tells me I need.
I'm a Wiener Schnitzel, not an English flower.
I'm a Wiener Schnitzel, not an English flower. No one tells me I need a rich man doing my thing in my palace in Richmond. You said
go.
I tricked you, 'cause I didn't look like my profile picture. Too bad I don't agree. So I'm gonna hang it up for everyone to see. And you can't stop.
Nice.
You can't stop me, 'cause I'm the queen of the.
I like that. We get an even further extension on this pre-chorus build-up. It was already a cool extension before, and now they've done it even more because we're about to go into the final chorus, and it's got to be different. It's got to be bigger. It's got to be more awesome. And I love that. They drew it out even more, so the suspense just continues to build.
Hang it up for everyone to see, and you can't stop. You can't stop me, 'cause I'm the queen of the castle. Get down, you dirty rascal. Get down, yeah, come on, ha.
So we get some singing, we get a little belting, we get a little grit in the voice, a little intensity in the voice that we have not heard before in this pre-chorus. And then it sounds like there's a lot of kind of added vocals in this final chorus, which is cool. In the final chorus, you definitely want to add something to make it different and usually bigger and more exciting than the previous choruses.
You can't stop me, 'cause I'm the queen of the castle. Get down, you dirty rascal. Get down, yeah, come on.
Come on.
Get down. Get down with me. Get down, you dirty rascal. Get down.
Yeah, so there's more here. There's more action in the drums, and there's that cool arpeggiated bass that's filling out the space a lot. We got all these added vocals. We have the obviously edited, sampled vocals that sound very electronic. So this is nice. This is a nice, they're making the final chorus the biggest one, the most exciting one.
Down. Get down with me. Get down, you dirty rascal. Get down. Anna of Cleves.
Anna, please, yeah.
Get down. Ow, 'cause I'm the queen of the castle.
And Gigi, shout out to Gigi, who I'm familiar with because of all her work on Epic the Musical. Good to be back with you, Gigi. You are wonderfully talented. All right, guys, that was my first time reaction and analysis to Get Down from 6 the Musical. I think we just have 3 more songs to go in the show. It's been a really fun journey so far. So if you guys are enjoying, if you're learning something, please do consider supporting me on Patreon. That's the best way to do it. And as always, it takes 2 seconds and it's totally free. So please do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video for 6 the Musical. Bye-bye.